Hello, folks. Welcome to this week's market review, and yeah, happy new week. So, last week's commentary, we're talking about dollar index, saying the dollar index is gonna, reach for this fair value gap here. Our sell side objective, right, and the dollar index, hit it and saw some, a good rejection of this level. Now, in about 3 days, March trading will be done, and we're gonna get into a new month, and that's April. Sorry, that's May. All right. Imagine I said March's trading, April's trading will be done, and we'll be going into May. All right. So whatever review we'll be saying today is gonna cut into May's trading, right? So first off, dollar index met objective, this objective on monthly time frame, and of course you can see it only makes sense that the market respond to having to trading into this fair value gap. So, and we are seeing the current rejection. Now this price action gets really interesting when we go into the lower time frame chart, right? And so when we go into the weekly time frame, we're going to see something. We're going to see that the rejection was pretty heavy. Okay, you see the rejection is pretty heavy, and the weekly candle closed inside the range of the prior 2 weekly candles. Okay, and this is a bullish indication. And now that this is a bullish indication, of course I'm not gonna call something outlandish or something unreal. Okay, we have a CB here, okay, a fair value gap, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency for its classification, right? And my expectation would be for the markets to trade into the CB here. All right, so it gets interesting because there's something on the daily time frame which we're going to check on the daily chart, and when we see it on the daily chart, it's going to explain what I think might happen when prices get here, because I just don't want us to think of this as a near-term draw on liquidity and we just forget about everything else. Because couple weeks back, right, we're talking about DXY and saying it's bullish from the perspective of the high time from institutional order flow, and currently we have traded into an objective. We've run sell side liquidity here again, and currently the markets are kind of like rejecting heavy. Now, if you recall in that commentary, I think it was about 3 weeks back, if you go back and listen to it, we're talking about the seasonal tendency, saying April's trading tend to form a yearly low April into May, and I think that's literally what we are seeing now in the market. And if you went through the mentorship, which I think everyone should go through in order of how they are being produced, from defining the hierarchy from institutional order flow to validating and market profiling, right? And if this is your first time of listening to me, I am producing a mentorship on my YouTube channel, and this is a cue to subscribe, like this video, please. I like the culture so that more people can see my work and all of that stuff. So I'm thinking we are likely to see this fair value gap fail for resistance. Okay, now this is a gap and it looks very interesting. So I'm anticipating this gap to fail for resistance, like something like markets would aggressively go through. Now, it doesn't mean that when market trades into this gap, we are going to see any retracement. Of course, this is a resistance level. So markets will trade into this gap and, offer some downside. I don't mean, when I say offer some downside, I don't mean my expectation currently is not heavy downside. Because currently I'm bullish on dollar index because the drawn liquidity is here. We're trying to sell side. We are in deep discount below an old low. deep discount. So I think the markets are going to completely rebalance this inefficiency, and from there, that's where we're going to take it up from next week, because this week the drawn liquidity is just here. Now, first objective would be entry into this fair value gap. The second objective would be the 50% of this gap, and potentially, if the markets are willing to completely rebalance this, this fair value gap. So the daily time frame, okay, not so much price action around here, but I'm eyeballing this premium fair value gap. This premium fair value gap here. I'm eyeballing this premium fair value gap into this mitigation block. Okay, so that's why I'm eyeballing markets trade into this, because from this portion to this portion is a balanced price range, but from here to here we have a CB here, we have a volume imbalance, and we have another CB here. But this range in price action is a balanced price range, and we want to see the markets deliver prices into liquidity pools and deliver prices also into inefficiencies, right? And that's the basic role of the algorithm, okay, to deliver prices and deliver prices efficiently. So 101267 ideal target, because here we have a balanced price. We have sell side, we have buy side offering, and here this range is balanced. Okay, the sell side balances all of the buy side and stuff. As soon as the market traded through this level, okay, we can see the inefficiency and no buy side offering around this price point. So that's that. It's very quick. And how do we go in this week? Okay, because if you look at the candlesticks here, okay, like Friday's candle, if you look closely, we had a green Friday, and we have this down candle here. So I think this would be our reference point for the weekly profile. Okay, if we want to trade short-term trading, how do we validate that the markets are showing willingness to trade in the direction of our drawn liquidity, which is the draw on the weekly time frame, the fair value gap. On daily time frame, we have some premium buy side objectives. So this is premium of the weekly range. So if you want to see the weekly range expand, okay, fine, we're going to expect it to trade into the weekly gap first, but then we're likely to see trade here. So you have to grade your objective, and that's how you want to manage expectations, because you can't just take trades. You have to plan for partial profits, and you have to plan for your trade management ish. So I'd like to see a daily candle close bullish here, so we can validate this as an order block, right? And if we can validate that as an order block, this candle, then we can now speculate in subsequent days. Now it gets really tricky. Okay, it gets really tricky. Okay, because say the candle that traded through this candle traded into the weekly gap, you'll have to chill, because we just hit an objective, and that's the lesson of market profiling. Okay, probably can take you to skip 1 or 2 sessions, or skip a day's work. It depends. Okay, or the market in itself can just be very aggressive, and are just they're flying to target, right? So you put that into consideration too. But first, I want to see candle close through this down candle here, and we're going to go in subsequent days. It's pretty straightforward. You want to spend too much time here. On Euro USD, talked about Euro USD on Twitter last week. This is the drawn liquidity here, this weekly gap. You can see how this candle closed with respect to this candle's range, and you can see this candle is indecisive, right? And markets traded buy side, leaving fair value gap. So we are likely to see the market draw into this weekly BC, okay? Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So on the daily time frame, of course, it gets really interesting here. Here on daily time frame, we have a change in the statement delivery, and it makes sense for me because market is trading to buy side on monthly time frame, okay, and now there's a change in the statement delivery, and we have a weekly fair value gap here, and on the daily time frame, potentially the market is trading into this discount fair value gap. Of course, you have to assume that the markets could do something crazy once they trade into sell side here. So, so that's that. So we have a change in state in delivery here, and the markets were in consolidation. Thursday was consolidation, Friday was also consolidation. So it means this move higher and this move lower was everything they were willing to do for last week's range. Okay, and that's markets. And we're currently consolidating at the key level, the bearish order block. Okay, and we want to see how the markets trade. Say as of Friday, okay, let me go to the file time frame. As of Friday, I was looking for more downside on Euro USD because we have SMT here where Euro USD made a lower low. We checked GBP USD made some sort of made a high, all right. And of course GBP USD, if you look closely here, we have a bearish order block and market trade into premium, this consecutive candle order block, right? And markets are rolling over in bit, and we also have these two down candles. So for GU, for example, when the candle closes below this consecutive down candle, I think that validates shorts into sell side liquidity here, and Euro USD is just in consolidation. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the Euro Pound today. Let's see the Euro Pound and let's see what Euro Pound is doing. Oh, Euro Pound is bullish. Okay, Euro Pound is bullish. I think Euro Pound traded below sell side here, closed inside the range of it, so it's showing potential upside, and that could mean if dollar index is not in heavy trend today or this week, it's going to affect Euro US. Euro US is going to be lackluster and GU is going to see weakness, right? So just note to that. But then nothing has still changed because market structure is still bearish, but market has been failing to take out the lows. Okay, that's been a struggle. Markets have been failing to take out the lows, and I don't know if markets are going to do that today. I'm just being patient to see how it's going to pan out. Okay, because I was short on euros last week, and I'm still waiting to see what happens. Really, I'm still waiting to see what happens. Now, on a daily time frame, there's something that I was looking at during the weekend. Look at how this candle is indecisive here and this candle indecisive. So I was thinking, and the market likely to take out previous day's high in some form and possibly trade into this fair value gap. Well, it's very, very possible. But since markets are in consolidation at a key level, the markets could simply just utilize this level still and deliver sell side. So that's why I'm just not gonna just do anything today. I want to see how Monday delivers so I can determine how the weekly range is likely to unfold. But first off, objective is this low here, the weekly fair value gap, and we want to see the market when markets trades into objective. I don't know if the markets are going to trade there today, but if today validates bias, then Tuesday I'm going to go in again. Okay, looking for short onto sell side here. So I don't know how the markets are going to play out today, but I'm not going to trade today because I want to see today do its thing, right? So yeah, okay, I think I need to charge now. So I hope you found this one insightful. Until I catch you in the next one, be safe.